Hey there, welcome to Hermit Haven. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. We're so excited to invite you into our safe space. Hermit Haven is like a cozy little hideout where we get to celebrate being confident in ourselves as we find happiness in quiet moments.
So grab your favorite blanket and your favorite drink, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Hermit Haven.
Hi, I'm Ashley. We're so excited to have you this week. This week, we're talking about why you should be celebrating yourself and why you should be celebrating other people's too, because everyone matters, right? And I think it's so easy to celebrate others first, right? And we're going to talk more about that. But why you should celebrate yourself, that's a really hard one. I feel like, especially when you become a mom, or if you've been a mom for a while, you know this, right? You start feeling like guilty almost if you're trying to celebrate yourself. Like, you're like, but what if my baby needs me? What if my house needs me? Like, you always feel like you need it or want it somewhere else. But like, you should be celebrating your wins. And I think too, it's so important, like, not to look for that, external Jackie, words.
Validation.
Yeah. Jackie, continue. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's something I've been really working on over the past 2 years. I realized I was kind of really relying on other people to hype me up, which is great that I had the support, but I was not doing the same thing to myself. And yeah, it's so true. Like we wait for our birthday once a year to celebrate ourselves and do it up, which is fun too. It's awesome, but I think a lot of confidence is built in telling yourself all the wins that you're doing every day. And so, the other day, I don't even know what I did. I'm such a nerd. I was home by myself. So, whenever I'm home by myself, I feel like I just get this energy. I do crazy things. I did something and I was like, yeah, Jackie. And I high fived myself. No one else was home. I just thought it was hilarious. I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, if dad was only watching down right now, he'd think that was hilarious. But it was just something, I don't remember what I did. I think I bought raspberries and I forgot that I wanted them, forgot that I bought them, thought I needed to still go get them. And they were in my Target order. That's so small and so silly. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I was like, thanks,
Such a win, though.
Jackie. Thanks. And I was so excited. But those little tiny things, little things that we do for ourselves, little wins, little I don't know, even though I know that sounds silly, that's something small and maybe insignificant, but it was really helpful to myself. And there's just so many things that we do during the day. And I think we always look at what we didn't get done. I personally know that I always look at, oh, I didn't get this done on my list. I didn't get that done on my list. And I'm never like, oh, but look at all these million other things, And most of it's getting snacks for our children, getting interrupted because they need snuggles from us. As a mom, there's so many interruptions, so many, and we just don't factor that in, in the things that we're doing and the wins that we have.
I think too, even before I was a mom, it really was hard sometimes to celebrate myself. And I was like, well, that's cool, but it's just the normal for me. I'd be like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going on a trip, and people would be like, that's so awesome that you're going here. And I'm like, just going on a trip. It's not I feel like
Yeah.
that's part of it too,
Yeah.
right? When you're breaking out of the normal, you should be celebrating it, right? I
Yep.
think, besides the little wins during the day, it's breaking out of the normal. It's taking your feet and stretching and being like, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. And sometimes it's hitting a goal. Sometimes it's just, telling yourself, I'm gonna go work out today and then going and commit it and doing it, right? And I don't know, I feel like too, we don't know how to celebrate ourselves, right? Jackie saying she gave herself a high five. That's how she celebrated herself. I love that though, because sometimes we don't know how to celebrate ourselves, right? And celebration might look like a dance party, it might look like saying, telling yourself, good job, I know so many times I'll be like, thanks past Ashley for saying up
Mhm.
future Ashley. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's so helpful because you're like, yeah, look what I did. And you're right. It's not always things that we do. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, that specific thing used to put me in a downward spiral, but now, yeah, it was upsetting, but I can move on from it. That's a huge, we don't realize those mental things are huge wins, or oh, I used to feel so guilty about leaving my kids at all, and now I just went out for a girls' night. That's a huge win. Those mental shifts are huge things to celebrate, even though we're like, oh, it's just this, it's just XYZ. No, it's not just that. Those are things that we are growing and we're showing up for ourselves and we're doing the things. So, they deserve to be celebrated. Those are big.
I think, even things like That sounds crazy, but like, you know, how those, like all those things you're hoarding, like when you finally get to the point where you're like, I don't need them anymore, that's a big
Yeah.
celebration. Like, I think, you know, sometimes it's okay, like you're constantly in the state of like, I'm just trying to do it, I'm just trying to survive. But when you break that norm and you break that bubble, celebrate those little things too, right?
Oh,
Like, I think, or it's the commitment being like, you know what? I've that same dress that has a hole in it. As much as I love it, it's, you know, I need to say thanks to it and let it go because it's time for me to get something new for myself. Right. And sometimes it doesn't feel like a win because you're like, well, that dress had a hole in it. I've had it for like 10 years. No, that's a celebration. You know,
yeah.
you're letting go of something and you're willing to go to the store and you're willing to do those things, right? That is a celebration, right? Try on that new dress. Like, that's part of it.
Yeah. And sometimes I think we're like, oh, we'll celebrate when we reach the goal. Like when I reach this weight on the scale, then I will celebrate. Like, no, girl, like you just lifted a heavier weight than you did last week. Celebrate that. Like you're
Yeah.
feeling good, you're feeling more energy. Celebrate that. Like there are so many little wins that we overlook because we make them so small and like they're just part of life, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go clean my bathroom. Like yeah, I know like you should have a clean bathroom, but like you took your time and energy to go make sure that like your children had a clean bathroom. Like thank you. Like you're doing amazing. I don't know. Small things are the
I,
biggest things and we
I
don't realize.
think too, let's say you were like, hey, I'm gonna wake up 5 minutes earlier in the morning, right?
Mm.
Celebrate it every time you do it,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
get excited, like, create something that makes it different, like, make a different routine, something out of it, you know, like, put a different background noise or a different YouTube fireplace video than normal, right?
Yeah.
Like that could be the celebration. Sometimes the celebration is like for me, it's like I put my son to bed and I'm like, I have a new episode of my show on. I'm gonna make myself dinner and I'm gonna sit on the couch for an hour and just celebrate what a great day we had. And sometimes I'm celebrating with him, right? We'll be sitting in like the bathtub and like he's in the bathtub playing. I'm just sitting there talking and be like, thanks for a great day, honey. Like this was so fun.
Yeah.
Right? I think as Mother's Day is coming up, right? Mother's Day is like literally next week. While you're listening to this, right? Mother's Day is going to be next week. It's make sure when everyone's celebrating you, you celebrate yourself first for Mother's Day, right? You would not, even though it's amazing that people are showing up and wanting to celebrate you for Mother's Day, you would not be who you are and where you are if it wasn't for you to start with, right? You went for the battles, you went for the tears, you went for the sacrifices, you went for it all. So celebration might just be simple. Go get yourself an extra coffee. Celebration might be like, listen to your podcast for 5 extra minutes before you get out of the car, you know? Like,
Yeah.
however you want to look at it, that can be celebrated. And I think it's so important to celebrate yourself because at the end of the day, as much as you might have people celebrating in your corner, and some people might not have anyone celebrating them, you are your own best friend and you should be your own best friend. I know that's a hard concept, but you should be able to rely on yourself. And so you, whenever you have good news, bad news, whatever it is, you should be able to celebrate yourself for the good news and hold your hand for the bad news. And I think sometimes it's harder to get to that point. And so sometimes it's just the small things to start that trend. So it might be, you know, I remember when I was pregnant, oh my God, every doctor's appointment was just like stressful, anxiety. And so my parents made sure I had a nice coffee, a nice Starbucks coffee, right? Like my parents knew, like they were like, this girl needs it, right? And even though my parents like supplied the money, I still went to the store and bought the coffee of my choice and drank it, even though I wasn't supposed to have that much caffeine. You know, I had to do half caffeine. Whatever, you get the point. Like I like created a system that would make me feel like, okay, even though I'm going for this hard thing, I'm gonna celebrate myself afterwards because I went through this hard thing, right? And sometimes it's something good, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, had a successful career at Disney World. I'm like, to Matt, let's go, eat at like the nicest restaurant on Disney property, right? Like, not the nicest, but one of the nicest restaurants on Disney property. We had a great dinner, right? But even though it was the end of like my career at Disney, I felt that had to be celebrated because I
Yeah.
made it. I did that, right? I did that thing, right? So I think it's the bad and good should be celebrated in the times. Like you deserve reward for going through what you went through. You also deserve a reward and to be celebrated for when you do good stuff.
Yeah. Celebrating yourself also for me, and I think for everyone, it helps with consistency so much. Like if you want to be consistent with something like, oh, I want to work out this many times a week. Well, after your workout, treat yourself to going in the bathtub, and taking a bath or I don't know, whatever, going and doing something fun, like giving yourself extra time to like what I don't know, buying yourself a new book, whatever it is. But like when you when you're consistent, what did I just say? I just like lost my train of thought. When you are celebrating yourself, it helps you be more consistent because you're more excited to do the thing because you know like, oh, I'm gonna like get to celebrate myself. And um it just also like it gives you more confidence because when you're being consistent for things for yourself, your confidence grows. Like that's how you grow confidence, right? Is like by saying you're going to do something and doing it. And so if after you do the thing, you celebrate yourself, you're more willing to continue doing it. And then it just like builds your confidence and builds your consistency. And then you
Yeah.
do all the things and you're like feeling good at life. And
I feel like so many people don't want to celebrate themselves because they feel they're taking away time from their other stuff they have to do. They're taking time away from someone else. They're taking time from their day. Like they just don't want to celebrate themselves, even if it is a win, even if it's something they just went through. Like they don't want to celebrate themselves because that's taking away time from someone else. That's taking energy from someone else. Like they don't feel that they're the most important person in the room. But at the end of the day, you are the most important person in the room because you wouldn't be in that room if it wasn't for you.
I mean, also, it's nice to say, like, well, I'm taking you feel like you're like doing a good thing or something, I guess, in your head by saying like, oh, I'm taking away time and I'm giving my time away. What if that's your last day? Then
Mhm.
like you just spent your whole life just doing things for others, never actually celebrated yourself. Like what kind of joy does that bring? Like we only get this life once. So if today's your last day, like make it joyful. So if you're not
Yeah.
feeling joy because you're giving everything away and you're not putting anything back in, that's really sad. That's
I
really sad.
think
You don't want
too. I think too it's the opposite too. Some people are able to celebrate themselves because it's easy. It's a small reserved thing where they could do in their own quiet corner. And some people are not able to be celebrated by others, right? Like when someone gives you a compliment and you like, or like, oh, someone says they like your dress and you're kind of like, oh, well, thanks. I've had it in my
that.
closet for 4 years instead of accepting that compliment. Like, right? We do that all the time. I know it, right? We
Yeah.
can't accept it. That's someone celebrating you though. When someone's giving you a compliment, that's celebrating you. When someone takes their time to remember your favorite coffee order and then pick it up before they come to your house or like meet you at work or whatever, that's celebrating you. And I think
Yeah.
so many times we get uncomfortable by that because we're like, I feel like we feel guilty, like we have to do something for them now. And that's not the case, right? It's not nickel to nickel. It's not penny for penny. It's literally that person is celebrating you because they want you in their life and they love you and they respect you and they're excited for you.
Yeah. I I really struggle with this a lot actually. At my last corporate job, they had a consultancy, like a sales consultancy that they paid for this lady to like talk to me about sales consulting. And she had given me a compliment, and I did the same thing where I don't know what I said exactly. This was so many years ago. And she's like, so I just gave you a compliment, and you're trying to brush it away as if like it's nothing, but it's actually you did something huge. And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was something that it's almost like therapy. Like every time I talk to her, she would work on that with me, like that specific thing. Isn't that funny? I don't know if it's like a woman thing or I
I
don't
think
know. It's like,
just
mom,
in
I wasn't even
general.
mom.
I
But
think
yeah,
in general that we're
yeah,
all the time like we don't want like I feel like if someone complimenting us is making us like then feel like we have to compliment them back sometimes. So we
that's
brush it
true.
off. Like I
That's
think that's
true.
really what it is like that nickel for nickel. I think too sometimes people are celebrating you and you don't even realize it. Like when someone invites you to an opportunity that you've been wanting to go to, you might not see that as a celebration, right? But it is a celebration, right? They're
Yeah,
inviting you, right?
yeah,
I this happened with me in the mom walk, like, so I'm just checking my emails and I get an email from like the mom walk office, right, who I run my mom walk with, and they sent me like a partnership offer for like to work with a brand. And I was just like, even though that's not like them going, oh my gosh, congratulations, like that's a celebration
yeah,
because they literally said in their little like introduction to the mom walk, we're only going to partner with cities that are following the rules or doing what they're supposed to be doing. So that to me was a celebration because I was like, this means I'm doing what I should be doing. Right? I'm in the right place, right? And so
yeah.
sometimes it's not going to look like, you know, congratulations!
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, you did it.
yeah,
Sometimes it's really just gonna have be like someone's just gonna be like, here you go, here's this opportunity, or why don't you come join me for this thing, right? Like
yeah,
you have to be open-minded of these experiences. And I think it goes both ways then, right? So we're talking about us, like why we don't want to be celebrated, or we do need to celebrate ourselves, right? Why do we need to celebrate others then? Because it's the same thing. As much as we need to pour into ourselves, we need to pour into others, especially Mother's Day is coming up. Make sure you're calling a mom you know. Someone that's been, even if someone was trying to be a mom, wants to be a mom, dog mom, whatever it is, Call a person, celebrate them. They deserve it. I think
Yeah.
too, it's so important to celebrate others because sometimes people don't know how to celebrate themselves, just like we've been saying,
Yeah.
right? And I think sometimes people don't recognize what they did either sometimes, right? Like Jackie does some really cool things like we just I'm just gonna laugh about this. But so Jackie had a dishwasher that was just like not not the best dishwasher to work with. Like they had to duct tape that thing together to at night. It was just a
For
hot
like a
mess.
year and a half. For like a
And
year, and it
Jackie was
still
like,
worked. So
and
we
we're
weren't
just
going to get rid of it.
right. And
Oh
Jackie's
my
like talking to me.
gosh.
She's like, "Yeah, I'm just loading up the dishwasher, blah blah." And I was like, "Wait, you got a new dishwasher?" And she's like, "It's just a dishwasher." I'm like, "No, this is a big celebration for your family. Like you have a working dishwasher. You
I
don't need your
know.
husband to duct tape it every night for you." And she's like, "But what?" And I'm like, "This is a big deal." And so sometimes people don't realize like how big of a deal it is because it's just the normally day life. But having a friend
No.
showing up and being like, "Wait, that is a big deal because I heard you. I heard how much you were going through it with that dishwasher." I think sometimes that's what it's
Hated that
about.
dishwasher.
People want to be heard. People want
Yeah.
to be loved.
Yeah.
And people want to know that the stories they're telling you and the things they're telling you is not you just going, uh-huh, uh-huh. Like that's part of being celebrating someone else is really saying, I understand, I'm showing up for you. And our example is like again, this might not feel like a celebration, but like our friends just bought a house and we were supposed to have a play date tomorrow. And our friend's like, hey, you guys want to come help us pay? And we're all like, yeah, let's go, right? We're here to celebrate you. You got a new house. Yeah. Do we really want to go for 8 hours of painting physical labor? Maybe not. But if it means that we're celebrating you in your new house and this is how we can help you celebrate you, let's go.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, we just, as much as we talk about like self-validation, which I think is so important to not need like always, someone
Mhm.
else telling you like how awesome you are, like you would be able to do that. But we're human at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and sometimes you just need someone to be like, it's easier for when someone else is like, "Hey Jackie, like you are rocking at XYZ."
Hmm.
It's like my brain feels so much more excited when someone else says it a lot of the times than when I'm just like, "Oh yeah." I mean, I'm excited when I say it to myself, but when someone else says it just feels so good, right? It's like a little
Yeah.
compliment. And I think, as humans, we need that. It feels so good when someone else gives you like an attaboy. Like you're just like, oh, thanks, like it just
Yeah.
feels so good. It's so important. It's the support, right? It's like the girlhood. Uh, when we had a whole video one time
Yeah.
on being a girl's girl, and it ties
I'll
into that.
add it. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll link it at the very end so you can watch that
It was a
one.
good one. It
That
was a
was a
good one. It
really
was
good
a
one.
while
But yeah,
ago. Yeah.
I think too, again, celebration can look like something big, like balloons, cake, like all that, or it could just look like being like picking up your friend's favorite coffee and dropping off, because you knew they needed it. They deserve it,
Yeah.
right? I think sometimes we don't need to have a reason to celebrate someone else either, right? I think so many times we have to have a reason to celebrate ourselves, someone else, and in reality, you don't. Celebrate yourself because you exist. Celebrate your friend because you love them. Celebrate your grandma because your grandma's the best person in the world, right? And sometimes celebration can literally look like calling someone and be like, hey, you're doing an amazing job. I just want to tell you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think at the end of the day, listening to this, celebrate yourself first because you come first. And you can't truly celebrate other people until you learn how to celebrate yourself, right? Because when you're celebrating yourself, you're being mindful, you're being intentional, you're understanding what yourself needs. And I think once you start pouring that into yourself, then you're starting to see the same thing around you. You're starting to see how can I pour into my friend? How can I be more intentional with my friend? How can I be this? How can I do that? And again, it's okay to celebrate people you don't really know. And that's something I really struggled on too, right? If I got invited to like a baby shower or something and I didn't really know them, I'd be like, I don't really want to go. Or like a kid's birthday party, I'd be like, I don't really want to go. But that's just an excuse, right? Like you should be celebrating everyone, right? I think too, it's okay to be picky about who you celebrate also. Like it goes back and forth, right? Because you know yourself. So do what is best for you, but also push yourself out of the comfort zone. People might need you to celebrate them because they don't know how to celebrate themselves yet. But because you're listening to this, you're starting to learn how to celebrate yourself.
Yeah. And like they say with the cup, filling your cup and then it overflows. Like when you're like celebrating yourself and your confidence is growing and your consistency is growing and all that stuff, then you want to like pour that onto everyone. Like you're just like you get hyped and you just like want to be like, oh my gosh, you're doing amazing at this, and I'm thinking of you. Like, how are you? And like you're
Yeah.
just like talking to everyone. I feel way more excited and social when I'm pouring more into myself. So an
Yeah.
intro.
I love this though. I think like at the end of the day, as Mother's Day is coming up, take time, reach out to people, reach out to yourself. How can you celebrate yourself this holiday? And if you don't celebrate Mother's Day, what if you're not a mom? That's okay too. This episode's not just for Mother's Day, but like I know Mother's Day is coming up and I know this is where like we forget to celebrate ourselves. Like I remember last year, and again, I was going through postpartum. It was my first Mother's Day with Ari, and I wish I took more effort to like take more pictures for that day. Like I wish I took more effort to like do the things, right? And celebrate myself. So
Yeah.
again, I think too that's the part where you reflect and check in, right? Like we talked about in the last episode, you need to reflect, you need to check in because you won't know what you need if you don't look back and be like, did that really work out? Is that really where I'm at, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I
check in
love
with
it.
yourself, reflect, see if there's someone you can celebrate. Maybe there's a birthday coming up. Maybe there's someone that has been showing up for you. Maybe someone you know has just been needing a little extra love, right? Send some flowers, send a thank you card, send a love you card, like however you want. We got these things called da 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 cell phones. You can use your cell phone too to celebrate. I know that's not like the best, best advice, but we all have cell phones in our
Yeah,
hand. Send a text message. Be like, hey, you're doing a great job. Hey, you're awesome. Make a TikTok.
absolutely.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think a text is, I think when I get a text and someone's like, hey, I was just thinking about you, just wanted to say hi, like that makes me feel so good. So yeah, I love
I
that.
think.
Like,
Oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say like something like me and Ari do is like we call his Grammy his EB every Friday for like Shabbat. Like sometimes it's hard to be honest to like I don't know, make time to call people. Like you're so
Yeah,
busy in your daily life. So I
yeah,
think sometimes just creating like a thing like that where you're like, okay, every Shabbos I'm gonna call XYZ or every Thursday is my free day, so I'm gonna call XYZ. Like it's
yeah,
okay. It's not every day. Pick a day that works. Pick a way to remember it. Pick a way to like sometimes you just need like that. I've said this since I was a kid, but the easiest way for me to connect with someone is like before a holiday, before Sabbath, because it's easy just to start the conversation. Have a good Shabbos. That's a mutual thing I know we both celebrate.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's okay to like schedule things in too. Like sometimes I'll write in my planner like, oh, I haven't called my grandma in a few days. Like call grandma, and that's okay. Like I'm still thinking of her. I just my brain we get so caught up in the day to day. Like my day will just fly by. I called her the other day and I was like, Grandma, it's already Friday, and like the week just like flew by. I don't even know where it went. I haven't talked to you since Monday. I was like, sorry, and it just life just flies by. So it's okay sometimes if you have to like schedule that in, or someone's birthday's coming up and you don't want to forget it. Like, okay, like remind myself, like this person's birthday. I want to make sure to text them or call them or whatever.
So this might be really bad, but TikTok has a feature, or if you have an iPhone has a feature now where you can send a text later. And so you can actually like, let's say someone's birthday is coming up in a few days, you can literally go to their text chat and literally put in a message to send later. So I can go to like mine and Jackie's chat.
What?
Yeah, I go to plus and then there's like a feature that says send later. It's literally called send later and then you pick which day and the
What?
time. So you could literally like if you're thinking of someone, you're like, hey, it's like six, it's like 2 in the morning. I don't think they like I'm gonna text them or I'm gonna forget to text them. Literally just go in there and put, okay, I'm gonna send this later. So Jackie, I'm gonna send you a message Friday 24th, 7 p.m. I just picked a random date. I'm gonna say, hey, remember this.
That is, I didn't know that was even there. That's actually
Yeah.
really helpful, especially like
So
you said, because
so I send it to you, go and you won't have it on your phone now, but it like does this like gray bubble until it sends.
that's crazy. I'm gonna
And
go
then
look
you
at
can
that. That's
edit it
cool.
too.
That's cool. Because yeah, like you said, sometimes I just think of something at like a random time and I'm like, maybe this isn't like the most appropriate time to text someone.
Yeah.
And yeah, interesting. I love that. But that's great for, like you said, like, oh, I'm thinking of this person, but I don't want to send a text right this moment. So like let me set it up and then it'll be tomorrow it'll send or later
Yeah.
today or whatever.
Another thing you could do, like again, these are just things that I found, with with an Apple phone, but you could set up like a button on your phone where it'll automatically send a text. So you could have like a button for like, let's say it's your grandma, your mom, someone you text all the time, you could just send a text being like, I'm thinking about you and send it like once a week. Press the button
Mhm.
once a week and send it. Or you can have like a reminder. I remember, obviously he hasn't called me, but my best friend Jamal, I put a reminder on his phone to call me every 2 weeks. Is he gonna call me? I don't know. But you get the point, right?
Yeah, I love that. Cute.
So there's different ways. I think another thing I used to do is like I would actually track in my Notion who I talked to recently so I could see a pattern, be like, did I actually call, I've only talked to this
Yeah.
person like once in the 6 months. Like maybe I should call them and celebrate them too. Like they deserve
Yeah.
my love.
Absolutely. Yeah, at
So,
the end of the day, like I said, we're all human and we just want to be like seen and heard and like not feel alone because even though someone doesn't look like they feel alone, a lot of us feel alone a lot of the time, right? With our thoughts
mhm.
and what we think and gosh, my hormones just make me think all kinds of crazy things all the time. So, it's just nice to know that someone else is there and that I'm not alone. And I know we all feel that way. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I love celebrating others and I love that. And this was something we talked about because it's so important. And I think, again, like today was a big monumental moment, but like I hosted my first mom walk and that was me celebrating the moms in my community, right? I was giving them back to them. And am I getting anything out of this besides like all the amazing friends and leadership? No, I'm not like physically getting paid. I'm not like getting anything, but I knew this was important to celebrate moms. Moms deserve this. And so sometimes you do need to make those bigger sacrifices, and it could be with strangers, and it's okay. Right? It's okay to challenge yourself. It's okay to push yourself out of your comfort zone to celebrate others because you want to. So, like, let's say there's like a fundraiser, something you connect with, and you're too afraid, just go do it. It's hard, but let's say like I don't know, like there's a local food bank and you always want to like go give out, help out the food bank. Go do it. That's celebrating someone else then. You're giving back to your community also. I think that's part of it.
Yeah. And that's what we aim to do here with our community.
hmm That's what we're
That's why
doing
we do
here.
this.
We're giving back to you guys. We're celebrating you all. We recognize you. We're showing up every Wednesday. We'll be here next Wednesday. We're here the Wednesday after. We're in the Facebook groups. We're in our own Instagrams. We're in our Hermit Haven Instagram. Like we're everywhere. We want to find ways to celebrate you. And that's something Jackie and I are striving to at the behind the scenes, right? We have so many goals, so many plans. We have a women's retreat we're working on. We have vlogs we're working on. We have newsletters. We have like extra podcast episodes. We have like interviewed podcast episodes. Like we have so much we're working on behind the scenes to find ways to celebrate y'all. So if you have ideas, let us know. We want to know about them so we can celebrate you. Put it down in the comments something we should celebrate you for this week. We love you all. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye bye.
Thanks for spending time with us today and being part of our Hermit Haven community.
We hope you enjoyed our cozy chat and are inspired to embrace your inner hermit.
Remember, even in the quiet moments, you're never alone on this journey because we are truly all in this together.
So until next time, stay cozy, stay true to yourself, and keep spreading love wherever you go.
Bye for now.
We'll see you next time.